Greetings, fanboys and fangirls. Welcome back to another episode of Running Down Mid. As always, I am Exile. With me is my right-hand man, Funzy. We got a big old weekend coming up, and a big weekend that just ended, so we're going to jump right into this.
So, I want to give a shout-out to Gold Coin United for winning the Challenger Series.
Let's go. Good job.
Getting the first seed in the promotion tournament that's going to happen after the regular season ends, and getting that better chance at being promoted into the LCS.
And also, E-Unite is going. Probably the only time an EU team's ever going to do anything good in a tournament. Bravo to you!
Now that the Challenger Series is out of the way, let's just talk about TSM, another 2-0 weekend.
Oh, man. So TSM is on top. They're the number one team in NA, but they don't look to be the best team in NA.
Yeah, if I had to call it right now, I think the best team in the North American League right now is probably P1. Not only do they seem to have a more dynamic play style, but it just seems like the synergy in the whole team is there. They don't seem to have a weak link where we're still seeing underperformance from Wild Turtle.
So, yeah, after the break, the big break where we had C9 and TSM reigning supreme top dogs, a few teams have come together and really put together some wins this last half split. One of them being P1. Big time. Having Meteos come in when apparently they were having some trouble. Little breaking point video of their own. They lost, Inori left because of some issues. Put it down as personal issues, but we all know now that it was some grumblings between teammates. They got rid of Arcadian. They brought in a new guy, Stunt, who's stunting it up big because he's doing great. And then they have Meteos, and Meteos basically has retained being their number one jungler. He wasn't even subbed out this weekend at all.
Yeah, and I want to say that bringing in Stunt, a rookie, to play with Arrow, I think Arrow's even doing better now.
I honestly think that Arrow is doing better. And I didn't think that Adrian was a bad support, but right now, P1 looks so good. And on top of that, their one sub is Inori. And if they have to sub out anything, and they sub out Meteos for Inori, that's a good sub to have. It's not like Inori's a scrub. So they look very dangerous. If playoffs were right now, I would say that P1 would also be my number one.
So we know there's 3 teams that are definitely going. C9, P1, and TSM have locked in enough wins that they are going. There's no doubt that.
I want to say, though, also Dignitas and CLG also have locked it in. The only ones that I really am worried about is FlyQuest, who's our current 6th, but they have FlyQuest, Immortals, and Echo Fox all vying this weekend. Depending on how this next weekend shakes out, you could have Immortals in the playoffs, you could have Echo Fox actually in the playoffs, or you could have FlyQuest, who, after the little break that we had, has taken a hard nose dive.
4 straight bad weeks. I think they're 1-7 now.
Since the break.
So whatever, and we've called it out previous weeks, it's definitely the flavor picks that they're picking up, the weird team comps that were working at the beginning half of the season are split. It's not working in the second half.
Oh, no. So it's like the scrambling quarterback in the NFL. You get that new rookie who's running all over the place, RG3ing it up, tearing up everything. Everyone's like, oh, this is the new thing, God's gift to everything. And then, boom, playoffs time comes and get taken out, and now teams adjust for that. Teams adjust for the crazy a lot faster than we'd like to give them credit. And these guys play all the time. So, it's rough to see FlyQuest fall like they have. I was really hoping that they'd boomerang it around, and they did. They might, but man, this last weekend, if they fall flat again, one of these other teams, IMT, Echo Fox, they're going to be clapping their hands at it.
So it takes specific wins for FlyQuest to make it. They need the other teams to lose.
Yeah, so everybody needs a little moving and shaking. They still required CLG and Dignitas to cough of a few, but CLG and Dignitas, just based off their records alone, are still going to be it. Even if CLG lost both matches, they dropped so low that they're guaranteed the 6th place spot. If Dignitas did the same thing, they'd be guaranteed the 6th place spot. So both those teams, if they gave up both matches this weekend, are still going to be in the playoffs. It's FlyQuest, IMT, and Echo Fox who's fighting for what. And even if they do come in at the 6th place spot, that's not a spot that I want, because you're going to either play against TSM, who's a super strong team, or P1, who's a crazy strong team. Now, C9 could still be, still take number 2, but they have looked so rough these last few weeks. As of late, I mean, they had an hour-long game against Envy, the 10th place team. And C9 not too long ago was by far the best team in NA, and now are just struggling to keep their supremacy. So I don't know what's going on with C9, but I mean, they did finally do something that they haven't done all split. Every game, so they've lost four matches. Every match that they've lost the first game, and in the first game in that little series, they never end up coming back from that. Against Envy, they lost the first game of that series and actually came back and won the last 2, which is the first time C9's done all split. So maybe they might use that as leverage or to bump them up, but right now they're looking rough.
They're looking rough, but they're still a team that you have to worry about because they have the experience in the playoffs when the stress is high. They're not going to be a team that's going to come in and pull on Immortals and fold under the pressure.
Well, they're definitely good at playing late game, a la C9 Worlds last year against IMA, and had the longest Worlds match ever. They have a great and strong middle game. There was a point in the match against Envious where Envious had 2 towers and 3 kills up on them. And that literally was their only gold lead because every lane was losing in CS. So C9 is such a strong team laning-wise that literally their only gold lead was the towers and the kills that they had. And C9 quickly erased it. I mean, they didn't drop their first tower until like minute 25. But once they did, it was 2 towers or 3 towers and a Baron. Then it was a Dragon. Then it was 2 more towers and an Hib. And then it was just pretty much a runaway game after that. So, I mean, their middle to late game is great. Their early game, though, is really, really bad. And if they can get a team that can jump out on C9 really early and stomp on their throats and push the pedal to the metal, they might have what it takes to win. And if C9 doesn't quit playing the stupid picks, the crazy picks, just like FlyQuest, because they do the, Talons mid or Zed mid and doing all AD team, or first pick in a Gragas or something crazy like that, where they have no experience playing it on the pro stage. If they're going to give up wins like that to a team in the playoffs, could easily take that and run away with it.
Yeah, and I want to talk about TL. Bringing in Doublelift, it didn't seem like it paid off for them. I mean, yes, they're going to have Doublelift from when they go to the promotion tournament to keep them, give them that extra strength against the challenger teams to hopefully keep them back in the LCS next split. But in order for TL not to end up in the relegation tournament, they need Echo Fox to go 0-2 this weekend.
Yeah, I'm really sad for TL because I was excited for Doublelift to come back. And I was really surprised at all the moves that they made to get Doublelift and Adrian and stuff. But I'm really irritated at Doublelift, to be honest, because it seems like he just does not give. It looks like he's not trying or he doesn't care.
He's trying.
He puts on his Twitter that he can't wait to go back to TSM. He keeps dogging out Wild Turtle, saying, "Oh man, I'm definitely gonna get my roster spot back. I'm definitely gonna take it." Granted, if I were TSM, I'd be like, "Yeah, you definitely can because Wild Turtle's sucking it." But right now, if I was Team Liquid, I'd be like, "Dude, you're on our team. You need to focus on winning
and
doing what."
And you don't know that. You don't know.
I don't know. It looks like he does not care.
He seems like the type of professional though that gives 110%. He is competitively driven.
I think he's giving. But
you can't just throw a player like that onto a team and then be like, "This team's gonna win in a week." Woo, yeah!
That's what they wanted.
No,
and I honestly think
they hired him for one thing. They were like, "Here's a boatload of money. Keep us from being relegated."
And what happens if they get relegated? What happens if they get relegated?
It's better to gamble and lose than to not even try.
I guess, but man, I'm irritated at Doublelift because it seems like he's using this just as practice, just to get up to speed, just to get back.
Why wouldn't he do it though? Obviously, TL wanted him. Obviously, they had Young been there, and
I know you're a fanboy, and it's hard to argue with you, but I'm really disappointed in him.
I think that, and if they'll have the time to practice before the relegation tournament, that will make them stronger than the challenger teams.
I hope so, because Goldcoin and EU actually look really, really good.
And they do. And I'm a huge Gold Coin fan. I want them to be promoted. I want to see them take Envious' spot.
Because, I mean, EU took it to the Big Jackals, and Big Jackals was a really good team. And so, I mean, Goldcoin and EU United definitely don't look like scrubs. Be interesting to see them if they were to make it into the LCS. I don't see Envious making it out of the relegation tournament, but TL right now I don't see them making it either.
We're seeing flashes of genius though.
Flashes though, but Flashes is not.
It needs
to
be constant, and they need to learn how to play the mid to late game. It seems like as soon as they're out of lane, they don't know how to ward, they don't know how to keep vision, they don't know how to apply pressure around the map, and because of this, those small mistakes are going to get you eaten alive in the LCS, and it's just not coming together for them. They're not showing any improvement.
Yeah, there's no improvement shown. I'm just really sad for him. This next weekend coming up is great. Definitely be great to see how the teams fall at the end of the series, whether our week 1 predictions were spot on. We were right about a few teams. I actually want to say that we were right about all of them except for P1. P1 definitely showed us the what because they're moving and shaking, and if there is no team that can put a stop to them right now, they're going to carry that on to
the finals, where
winning.
TSM will play against them.
Pretty much. That's probably what's going to happen. Right now, I just, as a C9 fanboy, do not feel confident in their play unless they can come out with the brooms a handy and clean sweep both teams this weekend, who they're playing Dignitas, which is going to be tough, and they're playing P1. Now, P1, a good preview of the finals that they may be facing. They're playing against TSM this weekend, who is a potential person that they could be playing against the finals, and they're also playing against C9 this weekend, who is a potential person that they could be playing in the finals. So this weekend is going to be real interesting, but the middle of the pack teams, FlyQuest, MIT, and Echo Fox, I really encourage you guys to watch those games because these teams are fighting to get into the playoffs. CLG, Dignitas, TSM, P1, C9, those are the 5 that are pretty much going to be in the playoffs for me.
Yeah, and I have to give it to CLG. I have to give it to them. The break came, they got their act together, they showed that they can play at a competitive level, and they've managed to just fight and fight and fight to get those wins.
I also think the meta shift is what's really helped CLG. It went back to what CLG is good for. The no longer the Malzahars or MF supports or crazy stuff. You get the Lulu supports. You get the heavy tank jungles. No more this carry business up top, which is good for Darshan. If he can play Poppy and they have Stixay on Caitlyn, CLG is deadly. And they actually could still take, if they 2-0 this weekend like they did this last weekend and win 2 more games and take that speed into the playoffs, CLG could, shake things up, and they might bypass P1, C9, and TSM, and
they could
we might have another. We might have another CLG Spring Split Championship. So this next weekend, huge weekend all the way around.
Last weekend of the split, too.
It's been a really close split since the break. First 4 weeks, not close at all. Last 4 weeks, crazy as crazy can get, and really close.
So that's going to be it for this week.
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, as always, thank you guys.
Like, subscribe. We
comment below, click. Send us your outplays. We want to show somebody up on our
email
video.
us, tweet us, show us some clips. I mean, we'd love to put you at the end. We're gonna leave you with the BM of the week, and good game.
Yeah, good game. We'll play, guys. See you next week.
Playoffs or impact, right? Because P1's pretty heavily solidified somewhere in the playoffs. Immortal's still fighting for this spot, but I am interested in that.